Ghosts among the stars. The stealth vessel Phantom glided silently through the void, its metamaterial hull absorbing all sensor sweeps like a black hole devours light. Inside the cramped command center, Commander Ilara Voss studied the holographic display of the massive alien station growing larger before them. After 200 years of hiding, humanity was about to announce its continued existence in the most dramatic way possible. "Final systems check," Ilara ordered, her voice steady despite the thundering of her heart. Lieutenant Marcus Chen's fingers danced across the neural interface. "Quantum masking at full capacity. Mimetic shields operational. Weapons cold but primed. Approaching optimal insertion point in 3 minutes," added Navigator Imani Walsh, her dark eyes reflecting the blue glow of her tactical display. This mission was unlike any other in the 2 centuries since the fall of Earth. For generations, the survivors of humanity had hidden in the shadows of abandoned star systems, rebuilding their civilization in secret while the Jaren hegemony proclaimed their extinction to the galaxy. The aliens had even erected monuments to commemorate their victory over the dangerous human species. "Remember," Ilara said, turning to face her hand-picked team of 6 infiltrators, "we're not here for revenge. We're here for truth." The truth that the Phantom sensors had already confirmed. Earth still existed. Not the radioactive wasteland the Jarans had described in their victory broadcasts, but a quarantine jewel surrounded by automated defense systems keeping all but the highest Jaran officials away. The question was, why preserve a supposedly dead world? 30 seconds to contact, Imani announced. Initiating silent dock sequence. The Phantom maneuvered beneath the sprawling Nexus station, a hub for a dozen alien species, none of whom had seen a living human in 2 centuries. Their ship's grappling system extended microscopic filaments that bonded with the station's outer hull at the molecular level, allowing them to bypass all standard docking protocols. Initiating hull meld, Marcus reported. Molecular bonding stable. Atmosphere analysis complete, added Dr. Nadia Kari, their xenobiologist. Standard breathable mix with trace elements consistent with Jexian biology. Our enhanced lungs can handle it, but you'll feel lightheaded for the first few minutes. Ilara nodded, securing her stealth suit's neural connectors around her wrists. The dark gray material flowed like liquid metal across her skin, bonding perfectly to her body. Unlike the bulky armor of their ancestors, modern human tech had become almost indistinguishable from magic, another advantage of 2 centuries spent developing in isolation. Infiltration team. Synchronize quantum signatures, she ordered. All 6 humans activated their suits' camouflage systems simultaneously. The technology didn't merely bend light around them. It predicted the movement of photons and adjusted accordingly, rendering them virtually undetectable to even the most advanced alien sensors. "Remember, we extract the archival data and leave. No confrontations unless absolutely necessary," Ilara emphasized. "The Jarans believe us extinct, and that misconception is our greatest weapon." The infiltration hatch opened silently, creating a seamless passage between the Phantom and the station's maintenance shaft. The team moved in practiced formation, their enhanced muscles and augmented reflexes allowing them to navigate the narrow corridors with preternatural grace. Through their neural links, Ilara received constant updates from the ship's AI analyzing the station's communications. Dozens of alien species mingled in the commercial and diplomatic sectors above them, blissfully unaware of the human ghosts moving beneath their feet. "Central Archive is 3 levels up," Marcus whispered through their secure channel. "Security patterns indicate a rotation in approximately 8 minutes." They moved through the station like wraiths, passing unseen within meters of Jaran security officers whose compound eyes stared right through them. Ilara felt a chill as they passed a museum display showcasing artifacts of the human extinction war. Distorted representations of Earth technology, accompanied by lurid descriptions of human aggression and barbarism. "This exhibit contains the last known examples of human weaponry," read the multilingual display. The extinct species' inherent violence necessitated the unified response that saved galactic civilization. Nadia's disgusted snort echoed in Ilara's earpiece. Convenient narrative when the victims aren't around to contradict it. Focus, Ilara reminded her. We're here to gather intelligence, not sightsee. The team reached the upper levels where the central archive housed the station's most sensitive data. Two massive Jaren guards flanked the entrance, their chidnous exoskeletons gleaming under the blue-tinted lights. I'll handle the security bypass, whispered Specialist Jackson, their systems expert. His neural implants connected with the station's network, exploiting vulnerabilities that the aliens had never bothered to patch. Why would they, when the only species advanced enough to exploit them was supposedly extinct? The massive doors slid open a mere 15 centimeters, enough for the team to slip through one by one. Inside, the archive stretched before them, a vast chamber of crystalline data structures holding the collective knowledge of the Jaren hegemony and its subject species. We have 7 minutes before the next security sweep, Marcus reminded them. Split up. Find anything related to Earth, human survivors, or Project Lazarus, Ilara ordered. The team dispersed, each member interfacing with different data nodes. Ilara approached the central terminal, her neural implants working through encryption that would have taken the most advanced alien AI years to crack. Her enhanced brain, coupled with centuries of clandestine technological development, made short work of the Jaren unbreakable security. What she found stopped her heart for a beat. I got something, she transmitted to the team. Project Lazarus isn't a Jaren operation against humans. It's about Earth. The files unfolded in her mind. Classified reports, security footage, genetic samples. Earth hadn't been preserved as a monument to victory as they'd suspected. It had been transformed into a laboratory. The Jarens didn't destroy humanity because we were violent, Ilara realized aloud. They feared our adaptability. They've been studying our planet, our genetics, trying to engineer our evolutionary advantages into their own species. Commander, Imani's urgent voice broke through. I've accessed their military network. There's more. The genetic engineering has been failing. Their hybrid subjects are unstable. They're planning something called final extraction, scheduled to begin in less than a month. They're going to strip Earth bare, Dr. Kari concluded, horror evident in her voice. Extract everything of value and then actually destroy it, just as their propaganda claimed they already had. A sudden alarm blared throughout the archive. We've been detected, Jackson reported. Something triggered a quantum recognition protocol. They're scanning for human DNA signatures. Download complete, Marcus announced. I have everything. The location of all Jaren military facilities, their fleet movements, and, Commander, I found the inhibitor codes for the Earth defense grid. Ilara made her decision instantly. Abort stealth protocols. Switch to extraction plan Delta. Their suits' camouflage deactivated as the team drew advanced particle weapons, technology that had evolved far beyond what the Jarens remembered facing 2 centuries ago. Back to the ship. We move as one unit. The first Jaren security team entered the archive to find something impossible. Living humans, armed with weapons beyond their comprehension. Before they could report the sighting, precision particle beams reduced their communications equipment to molten slag. We're taking a prisoner, Ilara decided, stunning the Jaren officer with a neural disruptor. The Council will want first-hand intelligence. The team fought their way back to the extraction point, their enhanced reflexes and superior weaponry carving a path through increasingly desperate resistance. Alarms wailed throughout the station as confused aliens caught glimpses of what many believed to be phantoms, the ghosts of extinct humanity coming to exact revenge. As they reached the phantom, dragging their unconscious captive, Ilara established a direct neural link with Admiral Takahashi on the hidden human fleet. Mission successful, Admiral. We have confirmation. Earth survives, and the Jarens have been lying for 2 centuries. But we need to accelerate the timetable. They're planning to destroy everything within the month. The Admiral's grim face nodded in her mind's eye. Understood, Commander. Return immediately. The Council has already voted. Operation Lazarus Rising begins as soon as you're clear. The Phantom detached from the station, its quantum engines flaring to life as it accelerated away from the chaos erupting behind them. For the first time in 200 years, the galaxy was about to learn that humanity's extinction had been greatly exaggerated, and Ilara Voss, descendant of Earth's survivors, allowed herself a slight smile. The reckoning was about to begin. The reckoning. Admiral Sophia Takahashi stood on the bridge of the Resurgence, flagship of humanity's hidden fleet, watching as the assembled armada emerged from stealth formations. 117 vessels, from nimble corvettes to the massive dreadnoughts, representing the pinnacle of human ingenuity developed over 2 centuries of secret evolution. Each ship contained technologies the Jaren hegemony couldn't begin to comprehend. Quantum-entangled communications immune to interception, adaptive biometallic hulls that could repair themselves, and weapons systems that operated on principles the alien scientists had never discovered. The Phantom has successfully docked, reported her executive officer, Commander Ramirez. Commander Voss is on her way to the bridge with their guest. Sophia nodded, her weathered face betraying no emotion despite the momentous nature of the coming hours. At 63, she was among the first generation born after the fall of Earth, raised on stories of a homeworld she had never seen. Today, that would change. All ships report ready, Admiral, announced Lieutenant Harper from Tactical. Operation Lazarus Rising awaits your command. The bridge doors slid open as Commander Voss entered, accompanied by 2 security officers flanking a Jaren official. The alien's compound eyes darted nervously around the bridge, mandibles clicking in what the Admiral recognized as profound shock. May I present High Commissioner Ktavik of the Jaren Diplomatic Corps, Ilara announced with a hint of satisfaction. He's been most informative during our journey. The Jaren's translator implant converted his clicks and whistles into the human standard language. Impossible. All records indicate your species was eradicated. This must be some elaborate deception. Admiral Takahashi approached slowly, studying the alien with the calm demeanor that had earned her the nickname Steel Sophia among the fleet. No deception, Commissioner. Merely a strategic withdrawal while you rewrote history. She gestured toward the viewscreen showing the assembled human fleet. 200 years of development, unhindered by the need to share resources or engage in your politics. 200 years of evolution you cannot imagine. The Jaren's antennae flattened against his carapace, a sign of extreme distress. What do you want? Revenge. Earth is heavily defended. By systems we now control, interrupted Ilara, holding up a quantum data crystal. The defense grid access codes were in your own archives. Earth's automated defenses now answer to us. Admiral Takahashi turned to her communications officer. Broadcast on all frequencies, all languages. The message we prepared. Throughout the Nexus sector, on every ship, station, and colonized world within 50 light years, communication systems suddenly activated without any local input. Displays showing entertainment, news, or commercial information were overridden as a human face appeared. Admiral Takahashi, her expression solemn, but unthreateningly calm. To all sentient species of the galactic community, I bring greetings from humanity. Contrary to what you have been told for the past 2 centuries, we did not perish in what the Jaren hegemony calls the human extinction war. We withdrew, we survived, we evolved. And now we return. The message continued, showing incontrovertible evidence extracted from the Jaren archives. The true history of the conflict, the preservation of Earth as a biological research facility, and the planned final extraction that would have destroyed the planet completely. We do not return seeking vengeance, the Admiral continued. We return seeking justice and our rightful place among the stars. The Jaren hegemony has maintained its dominance through lies and the exploitation of dozens of species. Today, those lies end. On the bridge of the Resurgence, Commissioner Ktavik watched in horror as the carefully constructed narrative of 2 centuries collapsed in minutes. "You've doomed us all," he chittered. "The other species will rise against us." "Perhaps they should," Commander Voss suggested coldly. "But that's not our priority. We're going home." The human fleet accelerated toward the Earth defense perimeter, a massive array of automated weapon platforms and sensor networks that had kept the planet isolated for generations. As they approached, the ancient systems recognized the override codes, deactivating without resistance. "Admiral," called out the tactical officer, "we're detecting multiple Geran battle groups converging on our position. They've mobilized their entire home fleet." Sophia nodded, having anticipated this reaction. "Deploy Phase 2. Throughout the sector, smaller human vessels that had been positioned years in advance activated their quantum beacons. The supposedly unbreakable Geran military communications network suddenly collapsed as precisely targeted disruption fields activated, isolating their fleets from central command. Simultaneously, transmissions reached the subjugated species within the hegemony. The Tellarites, the Vorka, the Nesda, all provided with evidence of Geran exploitation and the technical specifications to neutralize Geran control systems on their homeworlds. "Coordinated uprising reports coming in from 17 systems," reported Commander Ramirez, unable to keep the satisfaction from his voice. "The hegemony is fragmenting exactly as predicted." The leading edge of the human fleet entered Earth orbit for the first time in 2 centuries. On the view screen, the blue-green planet appeared startlingly unchanged from a distance, a deliberate preservation effort by the Gerans to maintain the planet's unique biosphere for their experiments. "Multiple Geran research facilities detected on the surface," reported the science officer, "all attempting emergency evacuation protocols." "Disable their ships but allow escape pods," ordered the admiral. "We're not executioners." The first Geran battle cruisers appeared at the edge of the system, advancing in rigid formation, exactly as their tactical doctrines had dictated for centuries, having never needed to evolve without worthy adversaries. "They're deploying in standard hegemony assault configuration," noted Commander Voss. "Exactly as our simulations predicted." Admiral Takahashi nodded. "Deploy quantum mesh." From the human corvettes, thousands of microscopic drones dispersed, forming an invisible lattice between the approaching Geran vessels. When activated, the mesh created localized disruptions in the fabric of space-time itself, not damaging the ships but rendering their conventional propulsion systems ineffective. The Geran fleet, pride of the hegemony, found itself drifting helplessly, unable to advance or retreat. "Open a channel to the Geran flagship," the admiral ordered. The view screen shifted to show the Geran fleet commander, his ornate exoskeleton marking him as a member of their highest military caste. "This is Admiral Sophia Takahashi of the United Earth Fleet. Your vessels are immobilized but unharmed. Your ground forces on Earth are surrounded. You have 2 options: unconditional withdrawal from Earth and its system, or destruction. We have spent 2 centuries developing weapons specifically designed to counter your technology. This demonstration is but a fraction of our capabilities." The Geran commander's mandibles clicked rapidly in what humans now recognized as their version of barely controlled panic. "What you demand is impossible. The Council will never." "The Council is currently facing revolutions on 17 worlds," interrupted the admiral. "And as we speak, the evidence of your species' centuries of deception is spreading throughout the galaxy. Your choice is simple: adapt or perish." Commissioner Ktavik stepped forward on the bridge, his posture showing defeat. "She speaks truth, Fleet Commander. I have seen their technologies. They have evolved beyond our understanding." A tense silence followed before the Geran commander's carapace slumped in the universal body language of surrender. "We will withdraw." Within hours, Geran research facilities across Earth were evacuated under the watchful eyes of human special forces. As the last alien shuttles departed, Commander Ilara Voss stood on the surface of humanity's homeworld for the first time, breathing air untouched by human lungs for centuries. the restoration would take time. The Gerans had altered parts of the ecosystem for their experiments, and portions of human infrastructure lay in ruins. But Earth endured, as did humanity, stronger, more advanced, and now positioned to reshape the galactic order. Admiral Takahashi joined Ilara on the surface, her boots touching Earth soil for the first time in her life. Around them, landing craft delivered the first wave of human colonists, descendants of the refugees who had fled generations ago. Was it worth the wait? Ilara asked softly. Sophia gazed at the horizon, where Earth's sun was setting in a blaze of orange and purple glory. Our ancestors didn't retreat out of fear, she said finally. They retreated to give us time. Time to become something the Gerans couldn't imagine or counter. She knelt to touch the soil, letting it run through her fingers. They thought us extinct. Instead, we evolved. And now the galaxy will never be the same. In the following days, representatives from a dozen formerly subjugated species arrived in Earth orbit, seeking alliance with the humans whose return had shattered the hegemony's grip. The Gerans, facing collapse on multiple fronts, were forced to accept a new galactic reality, one where humanity not only existed but had returned as an unquestioned technological power. And on Earth, in the first human settlement rebuilt near the ruins of Old Sydney, Admiral Takahashi addressed the colonists and the watching galaxy. 200 years ago, humanity faced extinction and chose instead to become ghosts among the stars. Today, we return not as conquerors but as liberators. Not as the violent species of Geran propaganda, but as architects of a new order built on truth and cooperation. She gestured to the alien ambassadors standing alongside her. Our enemies believed our greatest strength was our technology or our tenacity. They were wrong. Our greatest strength has always been our ability to adapt, to change, to evolve. The Gerans sought to eradicate us because they feared what we might become. The Admiral smiled, looking up at the stars now filled with possibilities rather than threats. They were right to be afraid.